great DIY for you that literally only uses two materials: string and drinking straws. Well, and a pair of scissors and a ruler, but I think everybody probably already has those. So today we're going to make drinking straw bunting. There are a few different variations on this circling the DIY community, but I wanted to share my own take on it. So for the first one we're making, I'm going to be using paper straws, but I only have a few of them, so we're going to be making miniature bunting. So to begin, cut the straws into 2-inch pieces and 1.5-inch pieces. I'm doing this by lining them up on my cutting mat and using my craft knife to make a mark, and then I'm using scissors to cut all the way through. If you don't have a craft knife, you can also use a pencil to mark where to cut, because you really want them all to be even. You're going to need 2 long pieces and 1 short piece for each triangle, so cut enough so that you can make as many triangles as you want. Now take a spool of string and thread it through each of the straw pieces, starting with the smaller piece, and then come back and thread it through the small piece again to form a loop. And then when you pull it tight, you can see how it makes a triangle. You're going to repeat this for each additional triangle. However, for bunting that is this small, I like to tie a knot between each triangle so it stays really tight. So pull the first triangle back along the string until you have a good amount of string to work with, and then tie a double knot around the joint so that it doesn't go anywhere. Now continue threading on the next triangle and tie a knot after that one as well. Once you've finished adding your triangles, you can tie knots at the ends and then tie loops in the remaining string, and once you've hung it on your wall, you have a really cute, easy decoration for practically no money at all. So for these other variations I'm going to make, I actually bought these neon straws online, but you could also build up your own collection by taking a few extra straws every time you go to a fast food restaurant. So for this one, I wanted to mix up the sizes and colors, so I cut pieces of straw that are 3 inches and 6 inches, and then I alternated triangle size and color with each one I added to get this really fun springtime room decoration. For the larger bunting, I didn't have to tie a knot in between each triangle, but if you're worried about your string getting too loose, you can of course still do that. I also made one out of only small triangles and all one color, you know, if you want to tone it down a little with neon yellow. And I experimented with other shapes by making this square bunting, which turned into parallelograms when I pulled it tight. But for my favorite one, I actually spray painted the straws gold. The gold paint didn't turn out completely even because the first time I tried spraying them, they kept being pushed away by the paint. So I tried taping them down, but then the tape pulled off all of the paint. So I ended up spraying mine again once they were all strung together into the bunting, but I would recommend putting a piece of wire or something inside each straw to weigh them down so you only have to paint it once. So I made a pretty traditionally sized bunting out of the gold straws by making the top 4 inches long and the sides 6 inches long. If you do one that's this large though, make sure you're working with a large spool of string because you're going to use up a lot of string. So once it's hung up, it almost looks like metal, but it's way cheaper and lighter than using metal tubes. I love how all of these turned out, and there are so many other variations that I didn't even get to that you could make with this idea. So let me know in the comments what colors or shapes or sizes you would make your bunting. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to press the thumbs up if you liked it, press subscribe, and I will see you all next week. Bye everyone!